I don't think it's happened yet, right? The Yankee game's on as of right now. But obviously everybody looking out the window trying to figure out, do I get on the highway? Do I get on the bus? Do I plan my train? As of right now in the moment, Yankees and Twins at 7:05 tonight is on like Donkey Kong, but we're also not stupid. It's been torrential for a good part of the day. I'm not looking outside this second, but the rain is not supposed to let up for a while. Anyhow, great being here. Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. It's funny. This is the first show that Evan and I have hosted together. It seems like in almost a month, right?
Have you missed me?
Yes, sure.
Your first reaction was not.
Well, because I don't want to be a bad guy.
Why?
I don't want to say, no, I haven't missed you, and then you feel like, well, it's been 3 weeks. How could you not miss me?
You could be honest.
Evan and I have a very unique relationship in that we don't speak to each other outside of work that often.
I had nothing to say to you.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
Like,
I had nothing to say. What was they going to do?
The last time I saw Evan, it was at the Pete Alonso comedy event.
Right.
And we didn't really talk to each other there either.
Well, we're dealing with other things, you know? We're dealing with the fans and Pete Alonso and our wives. Like, it's a very busy night.
Steve Cohen eating Doritos.
Steve Cohen.
Yeah, wouldn't shake anybody's hand, not because he's being douchey, but he had Dorito juice all over his hands.
Yes.
But listen, it's funny because we come in here today and wowzers from where we were 3 weeks ago, it seems like the New York Mets are going to let this one get away. The Yankees, no problem.
Well, that's not exactly where we are right now. What's happened is that the New York Mets had a crappy weekend. And I don't think anyone can deny that.
Losing 2 to the Washington Nationals, getting blown out.
Yeah, no doubt. They had a horrible weekend. And it was the first time this year they had a horrible weekend. Because you look at all the series they've lost this season, they have not lost a series to a bad team. That happened for the first time over the weekend.
And at some point, you have to allow that to happen without screaming bloody murder that the Mets are collapsing.
The Mets are not collapsing, and I hear people say this, and it's right. Now, look, if they go lose to the Pittsburgh Pirates this week, I'll join you. If they go lose to the Miami Marlins over the weekend, sure, I'll join in.
And 500 is not good enough against those teams from this point on.
No. You got to beat them.
Yeah.
You got to beat them. They had a bad weekend, period, stop. No one can deny that. But like what has worried me for months has continued to happen. The Atlanta Braves don't lose. They took care of the Marlins. They're 84-51. And so the Met lead has dwindled to 1, not because they're choking, not because they're collapsing, but because they've been average and the Braves haven't.
Yeah, I think the Mets are 10-10 in their last 20. Okay, 500 ball. And the Atlanta Braves are 20-5 in their last 25. So I'm not giving you apples to apples, but pretty damn close. Well, that's a good way to lose 5-6 games in a division lead, right?
Yeah.
You know, the Yankees collapsed, went from 15 down to 3 in the loss column. It's back up to 4 now after the predictable win against the Minnesota Twins, who, by the way, vying for a division title, it don't even matter because when the Yankees come to town or vice versa, the Yankees own the Twins.
The Yankees have owned far better twin teams. I'll let you leave it with that.
I love it. And I love how, fake Yankee fans now getting upset. Wah, Josh Donaldson was laughing after being thrown out at second base. Wah, this guy. Wah, that guy. Here's the sad reality, actually, for the New York Yankees. And I think you agree with me, but since we haven't discussed it, I'm not sure if you do. Whether it's by hook or by crook, the New York Yankees are going to win this division. Now, maybe they win it by a game. Maybe it's 3 games. Maybe it's 5 games. They're actually not going to lose the division. And I'm not saying it's because they're going to play a great September. I don't think they are. I just think they're going to win the division. Period. Stop. I can't even really quantify why, because the lead's close enough where if you went on a 5-12 run, you could see yourself in second place.
Right.
That could happen. For
Plus,
sure.
you have head-to-head games against Tampa Bay, against Toronto, 2 of the teams chasing you.
It's just my gut. And I say that knowing Benintendi's out most likely for the rest of the year. And LeMayeu's not playing well. No one's playing well.
Now Giancarlo's banged
Judge.
up.
Giancarlo doesn't want to play baseball anymore this year. And if not for Aaron Judge and really good pitching, the New York Yankees might be in a bad spot, like what we call the Mets spot right now, a 1-game lead. I think they're going to win the division. We're not going to go into the postseason as Yankee fans happy because we're miserable right now because it's come to our attention, and I think we're all right on this. Yeah, they're going to, quote-unquote, back their way into the postseason. they're going to win mid-90 games, maybe a little higher than that. They're not going to win 100 games. And our expectation is going to be it's going to be one and done, losing the ALDS, and then everyone's going to scream bloody murder.
Right.
I don't know how any Yankee fan today could think anything other than that is going to happen beyond the Frank the Tank type Met fan who roots for the Yankees coming out today and saying, we're just going to crap the bed and we're not going to do anything.
Well, but by the way, I'll give you a simple answer on how the Yankees could avoid everything you just said.
Yeah.
They win the division, which I still think they will do.
So we're on the same page on
I think
that.
they will win the division. Well, first of all, they still have a 4-game loss column lead, 5-game lead overall. And I just don't expect that this collapse, as bad as it's been, as bad as it seems, I don't expect it to continue.
Yeah, but I can't figure out. Like, I'd love to. I'd love to be that guy, that cocky, confident Yankee fan. I can't be because I'm not sure how they get out of it. And I say that for this reason. Their pitching's been pretty good.
The pitching's not the problem.
Aaron Judge can't play any better.
Yeah, but everybody else offensively can.
But who?
Everybody. Where do you want me to start?
Anthony Rizzo's not playing.
Okay, well, Anthony Rizzo should be back, and I think that's a part of it. The reason the Yankees are failing offensively is twofold. Number one, injuries, which you laid out, and number two, guys are underperforming. Gleyber Torres is underperforming. DJ LeMahieu is underperforming. Josh Donaldson is underperforming.
Yeah.
They have a lot of guys not playing well outside of Aaron Judge. If they can, A, get healthy, okay, and B, have guys perform better. Sometimes things are so damn simple. I'm so sick of hearing about how this team was built or Brian Cashman or Aaron Boone. It ain't that. It's guys need to be better.
Yeah.
Guys need to play better baseball.
Evan, there does come a point, like if it's one bad week, it's one bad week.
No, it's been 2 bad months.
When it's 7 bad weeks, 8 bad weeks, all of a sudden that's who you are, right? That's who you become.
Well, who are the Yankees?
I think the Yankees right now are Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
I think they're both.
You know what they are?
I think on one hand, they're a team that's good enough to go right to the World Series and roll the dice. And on the other hand, legitimately, they are bad enough to be swept in the ALDS.
And you know who that is? Last year's team. They have continued what was 2021. There were times last year where the Yankees played well enough, where you sat here and said, hey, they're going to go on a run. They're going to win the World Series. Their soul is back.
They won like 14 games in a row in August,
then
right?
There were times where they were a soulless bunch.
Yeah.
They have continued that Jekyll and Hyde trend from a year ago. And we know how it ended last year. It ended with one bombing of a loss.
It ended with you mocking Big Mac at Fenway.
Yes.
Big Mac, by the way, under the weather again today with the sniffles, and he's totally nasal, and I hate it. Like, it's enough, dude. Sorry for the quick aside from sports, but, I mean, you missed 2 weeks prior to me going on vacation, and then a week prior to Evan going on vacation, and then suddenly, and this is what I found interesting about you.
Yeah.
Miraculously, you recovered just in time to do 3 solo shows.
Correct.
And then Evan and I come back, and you're sick again. The timing of your convenient sickness is baffling to me.
I've never been sick. Today I'm a little nasally. I'm not sick.
Yeah, you're sick. It's
No,
called
I'm not
being
sick.
sick.
It's not called being
sick. You don't have
sick.
allergies. You're sick. And you're going to infect all of us, and I'm not going to stand for it, sir.
You've thrown me out once. You can throw me out again. I'll gladly go away.
By the way, the happiest guy if you getting thrown out is the
gonna,
guy standing next to you.
Well, there's
He
probably going to be a
can't
bridge.
wait.
There's probably going to be a bridge show with the rain out, so don't throw me out just yet.
They've not been rained out yet, and now you're getting to that time where Yankees don't do this to your fans. I'll say this: I'll give the Yankees credit and the Mets this year, unlike last year, they have both been very good at the early announcement of we're not playing tonight. I give them both credit because there hasn't been a story this year. They even done it to the point where we probably could have played tonight.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I'd always rather side on the air.
You'd rather have that than the other way around.
100% right. And so both teams have done a very good job off of last year's disasters, right? But we are now looking at almost a quarter after 2. So if you're going to tonight's game, in the next 2 hours, you're making the move. You're either leaving work early, you're going to get your kids from school. Now that they're back in school, the Yankees have a 2-hour window right now. And then the other question I have, and maybe you know better, Evan, do they play double dip tomorrow or do they play it on Thursday?
I would guess Thursday only because the weather tomorrow is supposed to be bad too.
Is that right?
So I think you push it to Thursday when the weather's beautiful. But I think they're going to rain this game out. But here's my hesitation. Yesterday in Pittsburgh, I was very excited for the Mets to play a game to try to get the stench off of losing 2 out of 3 to the Washington
By the way, I
Nationals.
think they wanted to play that game in the worst way too, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Let's just play a baseball game. So they cancel that game very early. And then I'm reading from all the Met beat writers, the weather was fine. So you run into that issue of if you cancel it too early and then the weather miraculously
Yeah, but still, like you said, that is a far better way to go than to wait until 7:30.
No, I agree.
Have everybody, whether you're stadium, I guess in Pittsburgh, you can probably park there, I imagine, right? Unlike Yankee Stadium, where it's much more mass transit.
A lot of mass transit in Pittsburgh, too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, it's like such a douchey thing.
I know.
Like if you're gonna cancel, take the risk that it doesn't rain, but at least people have fair
and think
warning.
about this: the Yankees have been putting 44,000 people in their building every freaking day.
And now with Aaron Judge hitting his 54th yesterday, that's going to be a sellout the rest of the way.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
You think people are paying to see Aaron Judge hit home runs?
I think that's a big part of it now. I think, especially considering how poorly the Yankees have played, it's one thing to sell out against, the Mets, obviously, right?
Right.
But they're selling out against everybody
they're getting
now.
big crowds against
And to me,
every team.
The only reason is because of Aaron Judge.
I'll tell you where you're wrong. The New York Yankees have a .600 winning percentage this year. And I know for us,
2 months
but
now.
hold on. In the prism of what we talk about, we say, hey, they've been a bad team for 2 months. And you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. But overall, they're having a season that is good statistically. And I think a lot of people that go to ballparks see that more than they see the bad baseball in the last month and a half.
But the only thing I would challenge you on that is, and I recognize that, there's more Yankee fans in the world than Met fans, fine. The Mets have done everything you could possibly ask for. Like, they've only lost 2 divisional series all year. Only one to a bad team.
And yet, over the weekend,
they don't get 42,000.
No question. Over the weekend against the Nationals, they were at 32-33.
Yeah, which I don't know what else you could possibly want this team to do. And in 2 games that you're expected to win handily, I know they didn't, but you don't know that going to the game, obviously.
Right.
You're expecting a big win, right? And they are not selling out.
No.
And I am fascinated by that because the Mets have done nothing wrong.
Well, they did well against the Dodgers. Those 3 games
those are
against
the Dodgers.
No, I get you. I understand.
And that's, by the way, the best team in baseball. And there's still an affinity for a lot of people in this town to the Dodgers.
Oh, and there were a lot of Dodger fans in the building.
Every person related to the Wilpons goes to those Dodger games like it's their favorite team.
I know.
Did you not know that?
Oh, I know that. That's why the stadium's a replica to Ebbets Field, essentially. By the way, for any Yankee fan who says this season will end in disappointment and it will end in the first round and it will end with a thud, I can very easily convince you otherwise. If the New York Yankees win this division, which I still think the majority of Yankee fans believe would happen,
4 in the loss column.
It's very conceivable that the team you face in the American League Divisional Series is this team, the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, we want all that smoke,
They're a game out of first place. They would be matched up against the Yankees if they can get out of their wild card series against whoever they play, Toronto or Tampa Bay or Seattle. So let me ask you this, Yankee fans. If you're playing the Minnesota Twins in the Divisional Series, confident?
Yeah, I think that's the only team, by the way.
What was it called when you chess make?
Checkmate.
Checkmate, baby.
Yeah, you never played chess before?
I forgot it. I was more of a checkers guy.
That doesn't surprise me.
What is that? My grandfather was one of the great checkers players of all time.
There's no, everyone's one of the great checkers players of all time.
You've never heard about the legendary Garfield Geever.
No.
He was one of the great...
Geever?
That's his name, damn it.
Okay.
One of the great checkers players of all time. There's legendary stories about him.
Evan.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a bad guy. Don't make me be a bad guy.
What?
But the concept of legendary and checkers is like being the world's greatest slip and slider. Like, if we're all brilliant checker players. Like, I've never lost the game of checkers. I love checkers. How could you be bad at checkers?
You could be bad at checkers.
Yeah, if you're 3.
That's not true.
Like, honest to God, I don't think I would ever lose in checkers.
Hold on.
To anybody on the planet.
Unfortunately, my grandfather's no longer with us.
I would destroy your grandfather.
No, you're nuts.
I would.
In 7 moves, you would be begging for forgiveness.
Are you sure you're not talking about chess?
No, I'm talking about checkers.
Because there is a way for me to beat you in chess in 5 moves.
I'm not talking about chess.
My can't beat me in 7 moves
when
in
computers
checkers.
were first invented, would go on the internet and just play all comers. And I saw his record.
Yeah.
I saw his winning percentage. They couldn't stop this guy. And then he would trash talk you. He'd write to the 12-year-old kids, how's that feel?
In
Beat
checkers?
you in checkers, yeah.
Come on.
Oh, he was the best.
That's some claim to fame to be a great checkers player.
Damn right.
Although it does remind me when Madden, or I guess when PlayStation first allowed you to communicate to whoever you were playing online. That was a big deal that that you could even play somebody in another city in America. And then you could talk to the person. I will never forget. I was playing like a 14 or 15-year-old kid
of course
out in California.
Yeah.
And there used to be a thing where if you were getting blown out, which was very rare for me at the time, you'd restart the game. You'd turn it off. And what pissed off the guy or the kid you were playing against is they sometimes early on, they didn't get credit for the win, all right? Or their stats didn't count, right?
Yeah.
And for kids that were playing so many games online, their won-loss record and their stats were very important to how they matched up against other kids, right? So I'll never forget, I'm playing a kid out in California, and I'm getting waxed. It's not even competitive.
Don't tell me you did this.
And the kid goes, yo, you better not turn this game off. But Evan, it's like 65-3.
Did you shut the game off?
At halftime.
Did you shut the game off?
I'll get to that.
Oh.
And he's now trash-talking me from 1,200 miles away. I'll never forget it because I had a newborn baby. My daughter was like 6 months old.
Right.
I'm playing by myself. I got the dopey headset on. My wife is sleeping. Mickey J, the baby's sleeping. And I got this punk-ass kid in California going, yo, if you turn it off, I'll find you.
I'll hunt you down.
I was like, he might be able to find me.
Did you shut the game off?
You're damn right I did.
Oh, come on.
So I played the third quarter. Now it's like 84-3. And all I keep hearing is, if you shut this off, like it was almost like this. My people will I was scared
And
to
you
death.
still shut it off.
Dude, it was 80-3.
To protect your stupid record?
No, because I didn't want to finish.
Oh, come on.
And if you don't finish the game, it times you out, and then this kid doesn't get the full credit.
That's terrible, man.
And I was like, I don't want anyone to find me. Tell your people you don't know where I live. All that kind of stuff. And then I got to the point where it was such a blowout. I pulled the old, oops.
It wasn't me, I promise. My power went out.
My bad. Yeah.